Welcome back to Educator.com. Today we're going to discuss bacterial metabolic behavior, and this is a very important quality that bacteria have that are very different from other organisms, and we're going to examine how, for instance, bacteria can live in environments that have no oxygen at all and certainly thrive, and other bacteria can certainly live in environments that have oxygen, and some bacteria actually can go back and forth between living in environments that have oxygen and environments that don't. So to give us a review, energy metabolism is really how do we get energy from the food that we eat. So all energy, at least as far as organisms that engage in aerobic respiration, comes from chemical energy, from food, from plants, from animals. And because we're organisms that can eat actually both plants and animals, our food is composed of both. And through various biochemical mechanisms, we utilize these foods, we break them down, and we produce ATP, which is the energy currency form that energy is really stored and created in all organisms. And then by metabolizing ATP, we produce waste products, carbon dioxide, and water. And then the energy that we get enables us to move, to engage in biochemical processes, and then of course we give off heat. So in terms of bacteria, that this metabolic behavior is a very important criteria for classification. So we'll see that there are some, as I was mentioning, some organisms that are anaerobic, some bacteria that are aerobic, and some that go back and forth. So to review again, that autotrophs are organisms that can produce their own energy without having to consume another organism. And they're, for instance, the plants utilize the sun and also carbon dioxide, that carbon dioxide is the source of carbon, and then they produce glucose from the sun and carbon dioxide. Most of them do this through the process of photosynthesis, and they obtain their energy directly from the sun. Now, heterotrophs, on the other hand, they are organisms that are required to consume other organisms in order to stay alive. So they don't use carbon dioxide, rather they rely on oxygen, and they obtain carbon from the environment through other organisms. And in fact, that's how they survive, is they have to eat other organisms. So even herbivores or vegetarians, they certainly eat organisms as well. And constantly, in terms of the earth, for instance, there's this constant recycling back and forth between autotrophs and heterotrophs.